welcome to another edition of Mosaic, an African American perspective. I'm your host, Deborah Milo. Today we'll be talking to the Director of the Montgomery County Police Traffic Division, Captain Tom Didone. Monday, August 29th marks the beginning of the 2016-2017 Montgomery County Public School Fall Session. I think we all are united in wanting this to be as safe a school year as possible, and this year, police have some electronic backup to improve school bus riding safety. Captain, welcome to Montgomery Mosaic. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Thanks for having me.
No problem at all. So I want to talk a little bit about, I always like to ask my guests, how did you get started doing what you're doing?
Oh, well, I started as a young officer way back 30 years ago and had a little niche for traffic. I figured, I always wanted to make a difference. And being out there in traffic, that most people encounter police officers either during traffic stops or when they've been involved in traffic crashes. So I realized that, you can make a difference. If you can, stop people and prevent them from causing crashes, you can save lives and change behavior. We also had those drunk drivers that are out there killing people on our highways.
That's true.
So I began arresting a lot of drunk drivers, and I realized that I could make a difference. And over the years, I worked through various different assignments, but I always came back to traffic. And now I'm in charge of the traffic division. I have the greatest job in the world.
So I don't hear you saying that when you were a kid and you were you were a patrol, that's not how you got your start.
No. My dad was a cop in D.C.,
Okay.
but he was more of a criminal investigator. And when I got there, I was just so happy to be hired as a Montgomery County police officer, and it was a great opportunity, and I just let the job take me where I needed to go.
Very nice, very nice. I want to start today's discussion a little bit about talking about the safety that's necessary for the kids. Now, we're getting ready to have kids go back to school, and I can't believe that we're already finished with summer. I'm still trying to process that. So the kids are going to be going to school very soon. What kind of safety tips are you being able to offer the kids, and what do they need to watch out for?
Well, I think what we have is parents, teachers, police officers, community needs to work together to ensure our kids are safe.
True.
Kids at this age are risk takers, and traffic is very heavy and dense. The first thing we do is we look for safe routes to school.
Okay.
Montgomery County has a very strong policy. We look to make sure that the people that have to walk to school, we have a safe route to get them there. We do a lot of busing of our children. I think we have over 1,200 school buses to get our populations to school safely. And there's a lot of times that we have to put kids on school buses because it isn't safe for them to walk. The
That's
intersections are too congested.
Right.
Drivers are very bad at these intersections, and we want to make sure we get our kids safe. So the big thing we talk about is everybody has to plan for safety. Safety just doesn't happen. You have to plan for it. Parents got to start talking to their kids, making sure that they know, look both ways, look left, look right, look left again, always cross with a parent. As your kids get older, middle school, teach them how to use the pedestrian signals. They need to not cross the middle of the block. They definitely need to not be wearing their headphones when they're crossing. Distracted crossing is just as dangerous.
Oh, yeah.
And when they get older in high school, you still have to have those courageous conversations with your kids and just remind them, because that's what parents do. Police officers, teachers, we have to have plans in place. I'm in charge of the school safety section, so we meet with all the crossing guards. We have 170 crossing guards in Montgomery County. That's a lot of people.
Quite a lot, yeah.
It is. We have a big, strong commitment for this, but it's all about eyes, keeping people safe, talking. We have a couple thousand safety patrols that work with our crossing guards. We have a comprehensive program. Then every school has their plan. So we start meeting with the principals, looking at the layouts. We do assessments of the last year's plans and make sure that everybody knows what the plan is. And then we adapt the plan as we need to work with the kids so we can get them safe.
I think one of the most important things you said was having that courageous conversation, parents and kids, because that is right there, that's where it starts. And of course that information needs to translate also to the teachers so that the teachers and the school administrators are able to discuss how important safety is as well for kids.
Oh, I agree. I think parents, we're support staff for parents.
Right.
It's parents' responsibility, first and foremost, to help keep their kids safe.
Absolutely.
And then we're their support staff. And sometimes that gets lost in the translation, but I think that's where safety really starts.
I always get concerned during the school year because I use a lot of country roads because there are so many wonderful farms here in the county. So you go down a lot of country roads and you see these kids and they're not paying attention many times, especially during school because of the school bus stops. And I'm always a little concerned about cars coming from the opposite direction, kids not paying attention because they're doing this or they're doing this. And so that's always a little disconcerting as well. So like you said, it's all about parents talking to their kids and having that conversation.
Right.
How about bicycle safety? Talk a little bit about how we need to talk to our kids about bicycle safety too.
Well, as congestion has increased on our roadways, riding a bike is challenging. Unfortunately, we have at least one bicycle fatality in the county a year. Last year we had 3, believe it or not.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it's safe. And most of these are people that are commuting on our highways. And unfortunately, we probably have about 120 bicycle car collisions in a year, and a lot of them are children. So there's 2 ways to address this. One, kids need to understand that they're riding on sidewalks, they're riding on the safety paths. We have a great network of safe routes for bicycles to get them to and from. And although they legally can ride on the road, if their skill isn't high enough, perhaps they need to stay off the road. The other thing we need to work on is drivers. Drivers need to drive defensively. You need to expect the unexpected. Like you said earlier, kids in the morning at school bus stops, they need to expect the unexpected.
Right.
They also need to recognize that, kids are unpredictable. So when they're on their bike, and you see a child on a bike, he may look like he's riding fine, but they could lose their balance or wiggle out of control in a moment's notice. So they should always proceed cautiously when you're around kids. And that's just good business. But, kids must wear helmets.
Yeah,
and unfortunately now, and they don't wear them often enough, they could be giving a warning citation for their not. The parents can be given a warning citation if the kid's not wearing a helmet. And unfortunately, if they're riding their bike to school, they need to bring a lock because we have far too many bicycles taken. So it's just a part of a plan. The schools have a plan where we want to encourage kids to do healthy biking, and along the safe route to school is the way we would ride to school. But after school, stay on your residential roads. When you see the car, get out of the road, and drivers need to drive defensively.
I got news for you. I will probably be on a bike too, and I might be wobbling, and seriously, because I'm telling you, because many times, when you see a lot of adults on the bike paths, you've got to be careful. You really, and so especially when you see kids on the bike path as well.
Absolutely.
And I like it when I see parents and children together.
Isn't that's the way it's supposed to be?
It is the way it's supposed to be, but unfortunately, we don't see it often enough.
True.
Talk a little bit about the authority that crossing guards have. I know that they're adults, but what authority do they have typically?
Well, the primary responsibility of the crossing guard is to cross children. They're not traffic directors, although sometimes they have to manage traffic to make sure that the kids get across safely. However, crossing guards do have authority under Maryland law. If they give you a direction, the drivers must follow that, as well as parents and kids, because, believe it or not, fail to obey a lawful order of a crossing guard will result in a traffic ticket.
Now that I didn't know.
No, but they don't like to use that authority often. So it has to be a very, very stressful or dangerous situation, or someone that continually disobeys them.
Right.
But then what they do is they call one of the police officers over, give them the facts, and then the police officer will issue the citation for failing to lawfully obey a lawful order of a crossing guard.
Is this relatively new?
No, it's been on the books for a long time, but it's rarely used.
I see.
Because the crossing guards are parents. We're all people in the community, and that's the last resort. And I think since I've been in charge of traffic, I think we've only had 2 or 3 times, and most of it was repeat violators that just completely disregarded, and the school crossing coordinator was there to witness the violation, and then we issued the citation. So it's something in there, but their job is to keep your kids safe.
That's right.
And we recognize we've had more congestion around schools because when they changed the walking limits, more parents, instead of having their children walk, started dropping off kids at their school. And unfortunately, The schools are not engineered for high vehicle traffic. They're engineered for school buses
Right.
and pedestrians and a few cars. We have way too many parents driving their kids to school. We get it when it's snowing, we get it when it's raining.
Oh, of course.
But beautiful weather, kids need to walk, they need to exercise. We have the safe routes, we have the crossing guards. We need fewer drivers, because when you have too many cars, too many kids, too many buses, and one crossing guard, it's not necessarily a safe situation.
That makes for a very dangerous situation, as a matter of fact, you know?
But that's a phenomenon that's happened in the past couple of years. Once they increased the walking distance, that's when we started getting more and more vehicular traffic. Then 2 years ago, they changed the times of the school.
That's
So
true.
sometimes parents have to come by and pick up their kids for the after-school activities. So these are kind of fallouts, but at the end of the day, more kids walk, healthier, safer, better.
Much healthier, safetier, and better. And you know, I think it's important for kids to understand and get that experience too. We had to walk, you know.
I think we can both, and
We
I
had
didn't
to
get driven
walk.
in the rain or the snow
Neither
either.
did I.
I didn't go
Neither
up a
did
hill miles like my grandfather.
Well, neither did I, like my grandparents or my parents, but I do know that we did have to walk, and if you were one of those kids who were fortunate enough, like me, to be able to take we call them the AP courses now, the summer courses, you know, to be able to get a higher level in school,
Right.
then you had to go to summer school, and so therefore you had to walk, and that was about maybe 3 miles away from me.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing for kids to be able to do that.
Absolutely.
Talk a little bit about the summer camp that you had for the public safety patrols. I've heard a little bit about it. I'm kind of fascinated by it.
Well, we've been blessed. I inherited that. You know, Montgomery County has partnered with AAA for over 30 years to sponsor 2 safety patrol camps. We have it up in Thurmont, and it's a week-long stay-in camp. And it's for 5th graders that are about ready to come into, or fourth graders going into 5th grade, going to be safety patrols. And what is it's a leadership camp. And our school safety section,
That's great.
Police officers who coordinate the safety patrols and the crossing guards sponsor and run the camp. And it's a very professional camp. Long story short, it's a lot of fun. They talk about leadership, and because AAA's involved, we have the newest materials, we have great information, and AAA sponsors our crossing guards. Okay. So we can handle, I think it's about 120 kids for each camp. So we strongly encourage, if you want your kid to get leadership at an early age and still have a lot of fun, but these kids come out ready for the management jobs and safety patrols. They have sergeants, lieutenants, captains, but these kids are great kids.
Okay.
We had one child that actually came to both camps this year. He had so much fun with one, he had to come back again.
Well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to talk more about that one particular child that came back to the second camp when we come back from break. How's that?
Thank you.
For those of you who've just tuned in, you're watching Mosaic, an African American Perspective. I'm Deborah Milo, and we're talking with Captain Tom Didone, Director of the MCPD's Traffic Division. After a short break, we'll be back with more conversation about how to keep students safer this school year.
NFC, AFC, offensive linemen, defensive tackles, quarterbacks, and cornerbacks are all working with United Way for a million little reasons. The kids of our communities, to ensure their academic success all the way to graduation day. You see, it takes about 12 years to create a graduate, but it takes the same time to create a dropout. And the difference between a kid becoming one or the other could be a professional athlete, or it could be you. Studies showed the earlier we get to kids, the better their chances. So become a United Way volunteer reader, tutor, or mentor, and make a difference in the life of a child, for the life of that child.
Give.
Advocate.
Volunteer. Live united. Join your favorite NFL players. Take the pledge. Go to unitedway.org.
RBIs and 36 homers. Swings at the first pitch and fouls it deep back into the stands.
Chill raw and prepared foods promptly. 1 in 6 Americans will get sick from food poisoning this year. Check your steps at foodsafety.gov.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity,
you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money.
Welcome back to Mosaic, an African American perspective. I'm here with Captain Tom Didone, the director of the Montgomery County Police Traffic Division. Tom, before we went to break, we were talking a little bit about the summer camp or the camp for the patrols. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Right. Well, we're the only camp in the region.
That's
Most
what
of
you
the
were
other
saying.
camps have gone out of business, so to speak. So, and that's sad because everybody has safety patrols.
Right.
But this gives them extra training on what to look for.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately, we have had crossing guards have to save kids and get awarded for rescuing some teens crossing the street unsafely. We've had crossing guards, safety patrols,
Right.
stop them, bring them back, and get recognized for this.
Oh, my
And this
goodness.
leadership of being alert, being responsible. And they're still kids, but they know when they put on that belt, they have a responsibility. They work for the police department. They work for the crossing guards. And at the camp, we're able to work with the kids, talk to them. But they have a lot of fun, too. There's fishing, swimming, canoeing, camping.
Oh, well, that's a camp I need to go to.
Yeah, so there's a lot of good things going on. They actually saw a bear this year. So we had a little cabin time, but it
I'm
all worked
sure.
out really well. And they worked in teamwork. They realized they're part of a team. They have a mission, they have a responsibility, and the kids really respond well. And we're very fortunate that we can maintain these 2 camps a year. We'd like to do more, but 2 is what we can do. And having 250 kids that has this extra leadership has really helped our program have responsible safety patrols to work with our crossing guards.
And I'm thinking, of course, there's got to be a sense of pride that those kids have, too, when they put that belt on.
Absolutely.
You
Just
know,
like my uniform, they get the same. And unfortunately, we lost the DARE program in our schools
I
years
remember
ago.
the DARE program, yes.
And we're at a point now where it's been gone long enough that there's no child in our school system that had the DARE program. And the DARE program, enabled us to do a lot of the look left, look right, talk
Yes.
about policemen being your friends, safety
That's right.
patrols, and we're missing that. And I think there's a fallout, across this country when not having these conversations and these relationships. So, one of the positive things about safety patrols is that we do have relationships. They're positive relationships, and it's something we need to grow and build off of.
I agree. I couldn't agree with you more. Talk a little bit about, and this is always a conversation that comes up, in many community and civic organizations, school buses.
Right.
We just had this conversation as a matter of fact because at our church, because kids are coming, going to be going back to school. And so we're talking about trying to help them to understand how important it is and for drivers as well when it comes to school buses. Talk about that, please.
Right. Well, we have about 1,200 school buses on our roadways, and that's because we have so many children and we need to get them to school safely. Some of them are by distance, and one of them down in Silver Spring, we had to convert from a walking school to a school bus school because until we can do engineering changes in the intersection, it's literally unsafe to cross over 100 kids every morning down in Silver Spring at this one intersection. So, school buses are an important part of it. But the issue is drivers pass school buses. And we found out a couple years ago when the schools were doing a survey, they had every school bus driver count the number of cars that passed their school bus after they activated the red flashing light and were loading children. After that. And they had 1,500 cars pass a school bus in one day.
Oh.
And everybody's learned in driver's education, slow for yellow, stop for red,
Right.
stop for school buses,
Right.
stop for pedestrians and crosswalks. And unfortunately, the lessons learned from driver's ed are lost. So 3 years ago, we began a school bus safety camera program where we installed 25 cameras on 1,200 school buses. In that 2.5 years, believe it or not, we issued over 4,800 citations
4,800.
for just
My
25 cameras. And people just aren't getting the message. So this year, beginning this school year, we've entered into a new contract with a new company that is installing in the next 3 years a camera on every one of our school buses.
Oh, fantastic.
So we are going to protect our kids. We've been fortunate we haven't had a child killed in a crossing the road trying to get to the school bus, and we don't want it to start. We hope to have 100 buses outfitted with cameras. So that's 4 times as many we've had in the 2.5 years by the end of the first 2 weeks of school. And then we look to have 500 buses outfitted in the next 18 months. So what's important that we recognize when we started doing some assessment of this is drivers pass school buses, one, because they're impatient. They think that their needs are selfishly more important than
That's
the
what I
safety of the
thought.
kid. Two, it's distraction. They're paying attention to their cell phone and they're not even seeing that humongous yellow bus with a flashing light next to it, and they drive right past it. But the third one is the uninformed. And what happens is under Maryland law, if the only thing between you and a school bus is paint, you have to stop. So if you're on the other side of the road of the school bus and there's not a center median or a designated safety zone
Right.
with a raised median so it's a protected place, then you must stop if the bus is on the other side of the road. So both sides, and obviously never passing it. We have a PSA that we're going to be publishing and putting out there again that talks about this issue, involving a kid cop who tries to explain it from a different perspective, the child perspective. What happens when you selfishly pass a school bus? But if you're distracted or even if you're uninformed, bottom line is you see the red flashing, you have to stop.
I'm so curious as to why isn't that common sense and common courtesy, to be quite frank about it. But as you said, it's about the behavior, I think. We are so consumed with information, we're so consumed with ourselves and getting to where we need to go. We just don't pay attention.
Right. My program manager and I were just talking the other day, and we had 5 cameras from this new company on as a pilot, and he was telling me on River Road we had instances where 18 people passed a school bus during a stop.
18 people.
18 people. Now, they remember River Road is just a 2-lane roadway with double yellow line.
True.
So 18 people passed a school bus. They couldn't say they didn't see it, but they just didn't stop. And, I don't know what it is, but unfortunately we have way too many locations where we talked about that defensive driving. You see the kids, you have to drive cautiously. It's just not the behavior. So we're going to use these cameras to change behavior. We want to get the message out. We're going to be having an aggressive PR campaign. We're going to be doing press events. We want to get information out to all the parents, because unfortunately parents, after they drop off kids at school, are probably some of these cars that pass school buses
I wouldn't
too.
be surprised,
So
yes.
it isn't that everybody's intentionally doing it, but
Right.
we need to let everybody know the buses are out there. They're going to be out there the first day of school and every day of school. You have to look out for them. I know it's an inconvenience when you're behind the bus and they're making 5 or 6 stops, but that safety is what we talked about in the beginning. Safety is about getting our kids to school.
Talk about the paint doesn't protect. Am I saying that correctly?
Right, that's the image. If you look at it under Maryland law, it defines that you must have a raised median between you and the school bus. That will make it a divided highway. Well, if there's only thing on the ground between you and the other school bus is paint, double yellow line, painted white lines, then you have to stop. Paint doesn't protect. And think about kids are not going to stop because there's paint on the ground.
That's right.
They need that median. They need that
Right.
grass. And that is not always a given, but that's what the law has set in motion, that there has to be a designated safety zone with a raised median to ensure that, to prevent you from not having to stop. So if the only thing between you and a school bus is paint, you must stop. Paint doesn't protect.
That's easy to remember. That expression is so easy to remember. Paint doesn't protect.
Paint doesn't protect anything.
I wanted to ask you, share a little bit, if you would, in our last few minutes. What are some words of wisdom that you would give to our county friends and neighbors?
Well, what I think is, In this county, we have one of the best counties in the world. As
We
I
do.
said, I'm blessed to be an officer here.
Absolutely.
It's because of this community.
Right.
We don't have a lot of the problems that other places have across this country because we do have a sense of community. But it's something that we have to continue to work towards. Everybody has a stake in making this county great. Everybody has a responsibility, and everybody needs to help. No police department can ever do anything by yourself. We can only be as good as working with people. We work with our schools, we work with all the organizations. We have community services officers that are out there proactively. And I think we in the county do an excellent job in doing that. But with that being said, we have to do better. We're only evaluated on our weakest link or our wish situation. We had a 911, our lifeline to the police department. It failed a couple times.
Right.
We're working aggressively to get that fixed because we
Right.
don't want to miss any call. We go out there, we have about 1,200 officers. Every one of them should be top notch, what the county deserves. Some days we have bad days, but even in our worst day, we need to be good. We may not be great, but we need to be good. And we want the citizens to know that we do care. Chief Manger is a very strong advocate of community policing.
really is.
We always have felt that way, and we
Yes.
will continue to be there. County Executive Ike Leggett,
Yes.
his boss, doesn't have to tell him that. We do that. So we're very blessed in this county. I'm very blessed to be an officer in this county. And I just appreciate the opportunity to work in the field of traffic where I can continue to make a difference.
Right.
And ask people to slow down, drive a little safer, and next time I stop them will be hopefully for something positive.
Well, I can actually say that we appreciate the fact that you are on the job all the time.
I love it.
We feel good. We feel good about that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom, for coming on to today's show. You really informed our citizens with a lot of good information, and now what we have to do is we have to do it.
Yes. Thank you.
Unfortunately, that's about all we have time for today. I want to thank our guest, Captain Tom Didone, Director of the MCPD Traffic Division. I'm Deborah Milo. Please join us again next month for another edition of Mosaic, an African American Perspective. Till next time, remember, stay safe. School is going to start very soon. Bye for now.
Hey, mister! Down here. You illegally passed the stop school bus. I'm placing you in timeout. And this timeout means big fines and possible points on your license. And more importantly, you could have endangered students' lives. That's why, to curb this reckless behavior, school buses are being equipped with video cameras to help kids like me stay safe. So play it smart, play it safe, and respect the bus.